Hi, in this video I'm going to show you guys how to use the coordinate axis in trigonometry. So here what we're going to do is we have already learned a bunch of stuff about trig, and the trig functions that we have came across are sine, cosine, and tangent. So how can we tie in coordinate plane, in other words your x and y axis, with sine, cosine, or tangent? Okay. Alright, so let's start. So there are a few terms that we need to kind of get ourselves familiar with. The first one is the initial side, okay, and the second one is the terminal side, and then we have standard position. Okay, so let me just start by talking about what the initial side is. Okay, so here you see green, so I'm gonna use this green arrow on the right, this green arrow that would represent my initial side. And when we represent, when we use the coordinate plane, when we use the x and y axis to represent trig, we are always gonna have the initial side, which is this arrow right here, on the x-axis. Okay, that is always gonna be my initial side. Okay, so that's the initial side right there, the green arrow. Now the terminal side is this red arrow here, right? So let me just put it at the right place for now. So my terminal side is where I can move around. Okay, if I can move it there, I can move it there, I can move it there. However, my terminal side has to be something that starts from the x-axis and then go around. Alright, so go in this direction, which is the reason why I have this counterclockwise. It has to be counterclockwise. Okay, so let's say if I start from here, so I'm starting from the initial side, which is the green arrow, right? And then my terminal side is, let's say if I move it somewhere there. So the angle that we make, the angle that is between, the angle theta is between the terminal side and the initial side. In this case, it is an acute angle because the angle is less than 90 degrees. So my theta is an acute angle. So if I move my terminal side, maybe somewhere there. Now my theta is gonna be the angle between again my terminal side and my initial side. So now my angle theta is an obtuse angle. Okay, somewhere between 0 to, in this case, maybe around 120. Right? Okay, now if I move the terminal side, again I have to move the terminal side in the counterclockwise direction, or some people call that the anti-clockwise direction. So if I move it somewhere here, in this case, again my theta is between my terminal side and my initial side. In this case, my theta would be 180 degrees. Okay, let me move. Okay, so now let me move this further more. Okay, now if my terminal side is there, so now right now my angle, right, the angle that is between the terminal side and the initial side is this area right here. Okay, this area, this angle, this big angle right there. Okay. Alright, so we're not talking about the other direction. We're talking about starting from the initial side, between the initial side and going into the counterclockwise direction, and then I stop at the terminal side. That angle is the theta. Alright, not this angle right there. This is not the angle we're talking about. Make sure it is starting from the initial, going to the terminal side in the counterclockwise direction. So this is the theta. Okay. Alright, now if I move this further into the counterclockwise direction, then my theta is gonna be start from the initial side all the way until the terminal side. So all of this, right, starting from the green, which is the initial side, all the way to the red, onto the red terminal side, that is my theta. Okay, so That's it. When we have my initial side and my terminal side and my theta, the angle between them, lined up as such, following the counterclockwise direction, we call that angle in standard position. Okay, in standard position. All right. This is the introduction to how to represent trig on coordinate plane using the x and y axis and the initial side, terminal side. In the next video, I will introduce you guys to something that is called the unit circle. See ya.